This man with no water to drink would stick his head into the refrigerator every night, desperately scraping years-old ice chips into his mouth, until he had licked the inside walls as smooth as a mirror, only then reluctantly closing the fridge door. And when he had nothing to eat, he would scoop ornamental fish from the tank, chop them into a paste, roll them into balls, and swallow them raw. Despite it being hard to stomach, he had no choice if he wanted to survive. As a burglar who broke in, he had been trapped in this mansion for exactly 2 days and 2 nights. Yet how could he possibly escape? This luxury home was located on the 80th floor penthouse, fitted throughout with soundproof, blast-resistant glass, and with the front door locked tight. There was absolutely no other way out. The man carefully examined the door with his hands, and discovered it was made entirely of solid wood. He immediately ran his fingertips across every crack, found the weakest spot on the door, and began frantically chiseling with his pocket knife. If he could just carve out a hole, he could open the door from the outside. Soon, he successfully chiseled away the wooden carving on the door's outer panel, exposing the relatively softer inner panel beneath. His confidence soared, and he hurriedly picked up his pace. However, as time slowly passed, the damaged central air conditioning grew hotter and hotter, and large beads of sweat rolled down the back of his neck. The moisture he had consumed from the refrigerator was quickly depleted. He was so unbearably thirsty that he put down his knife and began searching the entire house for water. But ever since triggering the alarm, the water supply to the whole house had been cut off. Not a single drop flowed from any faucet, including the toilet. Looking at the dirty water in the toilet bowl, the man hesitated for a long time, but still couldn't bring himself to drink it. He crawled into the plant area in the corner of the living room, and dug out the automatic sprinkler pipes, but after unscrewing them, he found not a drop of water inside. Finally, the man set his sights on the fish tank in the living room. He tentatively dipped his finger into the tank, wet it, then brought it to his mouth and sucked hard. The bitter, briny taste of seawater shot straight to his brain, making his already parched throat feel even worse. With no other option, the man could only endure his thirst and continue chiseling the door. Suddenly, the knife tip hit something and made a dull thud. Somewhat surprised, he quickly felt around with his fingers, and realized it wasn't the texture of wood. The man instantly knew something was wrong, and frantically jabbed with his knife tip, only then realizing that the door had a thick steel plate embedded inside. Clearly, his small knife could never break through it. He lay on the coffee table in despair, trying to call for help from his accomplices through the intercom, but his accomplices had already abandoned him. He called out intermittently throughout the night, but never received any response. Having struggled until morning, the man picked up the phone to call the police, but the phone was completely silent, showing no signs of working. He tried to turn on the computer, but discovered it was merely a prop. This strange mansion was eerie in every way, as if it were a cage specially designed for him. Just then, the ventilation duct above caught his attention. After a moment of deep thought, the man suddenly came up with a bold plan.